persons would say when they start eating this way, they have a lot of cravings. So they want to know how to control cravings and how to control like stress and emotional eating.
Big question. Big question. Stress and emotional eating. Wow. Eating for comfort. We're masking our pain. We're actually trying to mask the waste that's coming out. So we put more waste on top of waste. And this is the whole thing of, eating for comfort, emotional eating, and all of this kind of stuff. Eating foods because when we stop eating certain foods and we get craving for these foods, it's the residual or the residue of what we ate 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And because especially animal protein, for every 2 years of animal protein consumption or flesh consumption, it takes 1 year for the last trace of meat to leave your body. So if you have meat for 40 years, you have 20 years to go before the last trace of it. So obviously it's coming out. So when it comes back into the bloodstream, out of the tissues, passes through the brain, we get reacquainted. Ooh, some pork chop. Where's the pork chop? Drugs. Because now we want to suppress it, we want to get it back out of the bloodstream, and the best way to get it back out of the swiftest way, the most convenient way to get it back out of the bloodstream is eat another load and push it back down, bury it again, hide it, stash it again. But ideally, when you have a crave for something that you know is a killer to your nature, take a laxative, take an enema, go do some colonic irrigation. Don't postpone the elimination, confrontation another day. Because that's all we've been doing when we fall for it. I have a headache. I missed the meal, I never eat my lunch. So now I have a kicking headache. Yeah. The body goes into elimination. Since digestion stopped, you miss that digestion hour. So digestion stops, so you actually go into fasting. And the body goes into elimination. So the toxins are coming out of the tissue, into the bloodstream, pass through the brain. The brain area is where the blood circulates or moves the slowest. So toxin in the brain, in the blood, lingering on the brain for some extra seconds. It's a toxic irritation on the brain, we call it a headache. And I must be hungry. So we go jam some food, shift the blood from the brain down here, and just postpone the elimination, confrontation one more time.
So when we're having headaches, we must just allow that process to
take an enema, pull the plug,
okay.
Move out, so you can have room for what's being released right now. But we go take another meal and push it back down into the crack.
Wow.
And we got rid of the headache. I feel better. I know I was
just
hungry.
a different suffering.
Exactly. It's a postponement.
Postponement.
And every day you postpone it, you're building up a brew. A wicked brew that one day, one of them arteries, God forbid if it's an artery in your brain that bursts. Aneurysm. Instant death. Or one that strikes a nerve. Paralyzation. So stop postponing that elimination, confrontation, pull the plug, enema, laxative, colonic, prune juice, whatever you got to do, go to the toilet.